On the news this morning, suspected killers of the late President General of Nimo, Igboka, apprehended. Anambra state government re-emphasizes commitment to accessible education for all. Fire destroys 140 shelters at internally displaced persons camps in Borno. Sudan military and opposition parties agree on joint council to rule the country. Good morning and welcome to the news. My name is Nonye Nwokoye. The killers of the late President General of Nimo Community, Chief Frank Anthony Igboka, have been arrested. Governor Willie Obiano broke the news of the arrest during a family Thanksgiving by the Vice Chancellor of Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University, Professor Greg Nwakobi. Government House correspondent Ejike Abana reports that a mass was held at St. William's Catholic Church in Nkwele Zunaka.
Governor Obiano, who restated that Anambra remains one of the safest states in the country, stressed that no crime perpetrator in the state will be allowed to walk freely. The governor, who said that the assassins will be paraded soon, added that kidnappers of a banker at Otuocha were also apprehended too, calling on Anambra to go about their normal business activities as the state's security apparatus is still the best.
I want to commend SSS, the police, the army, the vigilante, the various people that gave us information that led to the arrest. Not only that, we also made a 1 week major arrest. What's happening is that I didn't want an enhanced instrument,
Governor Obiano, who thanked God on the behalf of the Nwakobi family, prayed God to continue sustaining them. Recall that about 2 weeks ago, the former President General of Nimo, Chief Igboka, was assassinated by gunmen in his community in Nimo, after which the governor placed security operatives on the alert to apprehend the perpetrators. Earlier in a homily, the vicar of St. William's Catholic Church, Nkwele Zunaka, Reverend Father Jude Okolo, charged Christians to imbibe the virtues of love, faith, and hope in the worship of God.
One with God is what? Majority. You must not forget that. Only one or two priests, they confused by your Christian faith. Need never be friendly one. Go ahead. Because if your conscience does not condemn you, nobody can condemn you. So we thank you for his appointment. And we encourage you to take the opportunity. As you have already started, we're all back at the back.
Professor Greg Nwakobi, on his part, appreciated God's faithfulness in his life and family, asking God to bless the congregation for honoring his family with their presence.
I thank him for his blessings. I thank him for protection. I thank him especially for this wonderful day that the Lord Almighty God has made in us. In a special way, a day like this will not appear without His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Anambra.
The governor was accompanied to the Thanksgiving by members of the State Executive Council, elect and serving members of the Anambra State House of Assembly. Also present were the traditional ruler of Nteje community, Igwe Roland Odebo, the member-elect representing Anambra East and West Federal Constituency, Honorable Benjamin Obidigwe, and many other dignitaries. From St. William's Catholic Church, Nkwele Zunaka, Ejike Abana, ABS News.
Over 100 freshmen have taken their matriculation vows at the third matriculation ceremony of Legacy University Okija. Legacy University Okija is a private institution approved in 2016 as a full-fledged university with over 400 students. Our correspondent Daniel Ezigwe was at the matriculation ceremony and completes the story.
The matriculating students each were celebrating a tough beginning of academic journey in the courses offered by the institution in arts, social sciences, management sciences, natural and applied sciences. Addressing the freshmen, Governor Willie Obiano, who was represented by the Commissioner for Tertiary Science and Technical Education, Professor Theresa Obiekezie, said the university represents a strong need for the establishment of more tertiary institutions in Anambra State to accommodate the growing academic pursuits of the younger generation. He urged the matriculating students to pursue their academic careers with intense diligence, a way of repaying their parents' and guardians' struggles.
And I am happy because we need more tertiary institutions in Anambra State. So whoever that conceived this idea should be clapped for. I would wish that this institution be publicized so that our children would know that we have a big institution here where they can study. The institution is young, I know, but from what I can see today, they are in the right direction.
The university's pro-chancellor and chairman of the governing council, Dr. Leonard Nkameme, said that the Legacy University Okija was already in established partnership with ICT University, Louisiana, United States of America, which has resulted in the provision of over 300,000 books relating to the programs run by the university installed in its e-library.
Next month, we commissioned our ICT learning system installed and equipped by Southern University USA, Louisiana USA, that can help our students here have lectures abroad, overseas, anywhere from here. And people can from their home receive lectures from Legacy University. It takes a lot to do that. The equipment is one of the best in this country, knowing fully well now that ICT is no longer an optional something, it's something that you can't do without. So to ease the stress and difficulty and challenges of people moving up and down. And for now, our library is loaded with 300,000 books of all the courses we are running here.
In his matriculation address, the acting vice-chancellor of the university, Professor Gabriel Anene, reminded the new students of the institution's ground rules for students, including regular class attendance, shunning cultism, resistance to exam-related offenses, amongst others.
All students should have counsel to guide their activities. They are expected to read them thoroughly. They are therefore advised to remain focused so that nothing stands on their way to settle. The end justifies the means. We solicit the assistance. We solicit assistance from government, companies, banks, and private individuals to augment what we have.
The member-elect Ihiala Federal Constituency, Barrister Ifeanyi Moma, was also at the matriculation ceremony, while the freshmen were admitted to the university's oath of allegiance to draw the curtain on the occasion. From Okija, Ihiala Council Area, Daniel Ezigwe, ABS News.
It was a moment of salvation and soul winning at Achala, Oka North Council area as people gathered to seek for the face of God. The program, which featured ministrations, praises, altar call, and healing session, drew sons and daughters of the community to identify with their Maker and to seek for a new life. We have details of that report.
In a message, an evangelist, Pastor Cyril Okadigwe, who is a son of the community, whose topic was Every Soul Matters to Christ, said that salvation through Jesus Christ is the only thing that can bring changes and blessings from God. He maintained that they should accept Christ, who will send them His Holy Spirit to empower, guide, and protect them throughout their life in order to defeat the Satan and all evil manipulations. Evangelist Okadigwe stressed the need for the community to have a change of heart and redirection towards the things of God, availing themselves for the service of Christ with a pure heart, be dedicated and believe in the power of resurrection, which is the basis for Christianity and the hope for all.
To challenge the creative power of Almighty God. Yeah. Look me in the eye, because I know you'll be televised. Yeah. You are living a life of lies. Yeah. Because what you don't know is that thing you use to clone shit in the DNA, the mitochondrial DNA, is a creative power, a creative activity of the Almighty God.
Evangelist Okadigwe, who is a doctor of medicine and a pharmacist in the United States of America, prayed for the land of Achala and provided 6 wheelchairs for some physically challenged persons as a way of giving back to the community, promising to uphold them in prayers.
The parish priest of St. Mary's Catholic Church, Oka, Reverend Father Peter Eche, has reminded Christians that God is of mercy and compassionate to all who seek him. Reverend Father Eche stated this in the Mass to mark Divine Mercy Sunday. We have details.
He said that it is of utmost importance that all who were baptized in the name of God will forgive one another, render helpless services, have strong faith, and always put it in work. On his part, the Archdeacon of Adaziane Ajikere and Vicar of St. Jude's Anglican Church, Adaziane, Venerable Christian Okafor, called on Christians to stop seeking Christ where he is not. Venerable Okafor, who stated this in a sermon, lamented that many have soiled their hands due to economic crisis, hardship, and problems, redirected them as their help comes from only God.
Time of trials that we have to stand firm. We live by faith and not by sight.
How do they expect to live in these circumstances?
In these circumstances, they ought to pray, praying fervently, and trusting God. When you pray, you trust God, and God must surely do it. There are men of God. There are genuine places of worship where people will go receive genuine counseling, and they will be prayed for, and they will receive their miracle.
Away now from the state matters, moving on national. The National Emergency Management Agency says 140 shelters were destroyed by fire in two the internally displaced persons camps at Monguno local government area of Borno State. NEMA Northeast Information Officer Abdul Kadir Ibrahim disclosed this in a statement in Maiduguri. Ibrahim said the fire incidents were recorded at Flatari and Nguro camps in Monguno on Saturday. He disclosed that 28 shelters were destroyed at Flatari camp, affecting 20 households, while 120 shelters were razed and 77 households displaced at Nguro in the fire disaster. He added that about 371 persons were displaced in the fire outbreaks recorded in the two camps. Ibrahim said that the agency was conducting investigation to identify the cause of the fire and appraise the needs of the victims. And now, Sudan's ruling military council and the opposition alliance have reached an agreement in principle to form a new body to run the country until the next election. The agreement was reached during a meeting between the ruling Military Transitional Council, MTC, and the Declaration of Freedom and Changes Forces, an umbrella organization of opposition groups. The agreement marked a breakthrough. It was still at an early stage and details had yet to be ironed out. Shams al-Din Kabashi, the spokesperson for the military council, said that the talks started with high spirit and great transparency. After the fall of President Omar al-Bashir on March 11, following months of popular demonstrations against his 30-year rule, the MTC is now overseeing a 2-year transitional period during which it has pledged to hold presidential elections. Brazilian superstar Neymar has accepted that he had made a mistake striking a fan who insulted Paris Saint-Germain players as he fired up to collect their French Cup losers' medals. Neymar scored to put PSG 2-0 up after 21 minutes at the Stade de France last Saturday, but Reims fought back to tie the game at 2-2 and win the penalty shootout 6-5 after extra time. As the players climbed the steps to receive their medals, shaking the hands of those nearby, Neymar, one of the last in line, struck one of the fans in the face. The blow was caught on numerous mobile phones, including that of the victim, Eduard a 28-year-old delivery driver from Nantes. A Brazilian friend of Neymar's, Alex Bernardo, posted on Instagram a transcript of the comments audible on Eduard's video, starting with unused reserves, goalkeeper Gianluigi Buffon and defender Lavin Kurzawa. The Anambra State government leaders and members of the Anambra State Association of Town Unions, ASATU, joined Okpuno community to mourn late Honorable Peter Madabrochukwu Obidimma. Late Peter Obidimma, who was committed to motherhood by priests and members of St. John's Anglican Church, Okpuno, at his compound, Ezinifite village, Okpuno, was aged 43. A correspondent, Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, filed this report, taken from her.
Late Honorable Obidimma, popularly known as Bishop, was until his death the National Secretary of ASATU, President General of Okpuno Progressives Union, Secretary Anambra State Civil Society Organizations, and Patron, National Youth Council of Nigeria, Anambra State Chapter. Governor Willie Obiano, represented by the State Head of Service, Barrister Hariodo, lamented the sudden demise of Peter Obidimma, saying that the exit of a loved one is always painful. While commending his enormous services to his community, unions, and the state at large, Governor Obiano condoled with the family, asking them to hope in God and embrace him as their pillar for a better future.
For them to take heart. You can see the very young widow with the little kids and so on. It's very painful. The mother is there, you can see. It's quite painful all around. But what can you do? You can't fight God. He knows the best. He knows what is best for us. So we'll take it with the usual Christian equanimity and hope that the future will be better.
In a sermon during the burial service, the vicar of St. John's Parish, Okpuno, Reverend Canon Dr. Onyekachukwu Egwuonwu, assured that those who died in the Lord will resurrect with Christ at the sound of the trumpet, warning that all should prepare their ways in order not to be found wanting on the last day.
I want to prophesy into our lives. I want to prophesy into our communities. There will be resurrection in our lives. I get went to the food. If all food gave me men, who do offer that money day? I'm a lawful that money day.
Sympathizing with the bereaved on behalf of ASATU, National President of the Association, Chief Alex Onuhwe, said that the memories of late Obidimma and his services to ASATU will remain evergreen.
His death came to us as a very good shock, but like we have had here, we have accepted it because every person, all mortals must die. It's only on this note that we want to accept the fact that our friend is no more. And we pray the Almighty to comfort the family. The wife and the little children will stay here.
In their separate speeches, the state chairman of Ohaneze Ndibo, Chief Damian Okekogene, and the chairman of civil society groups in the state, Prince Chris Azo, said the late Obidimma has paid the price for his community. While appreciating God and all those who contributed to the success of the burial, Mr. Obumneme Obidimma, on behalf of the family, lamented that the exit of their brother remains a big shock, which they will never forget, adding that they will develop on the legacies he left behind.
Sad indeed. We pray that God will give the family the fortitude to bear this irreparable loss. And that's just about it on the news. But remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/ABS Radio TV online. Follow us on Twitter at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website, www.absradiotv.com. And the main points of the news again. Suspected killers of the late President General of NIMO, Iboka, have been apprehended. Anambra State government has re-emphasized commitment to accessible education for all. Fire has destroyed 140 shelters at internally displaced persons camps in Borno. And from the foreign scene, we brought you a report that Sudan military and opposition parties have agreed on joint council to rule the country. And that's the news. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Nonye Mokoye. Good morning.